So this weekend, Dubois rematches Usyk, and I think people are getting a little bit carried away with Daniel Dubois' recent run of form. Let's look at his previous opponents. Kevin Lerena, a very mediocre heavyweight, had Dubois on the floor 3 times. At least one of those was from a legitimate punch. Yes, on the top of the head, which blows anybody's equilibrium. So there's not massive shame in that. It's the same thing that happened to Martin Bakole against Joseph Parker. When you get hit on the top around the back of the head, it's near the brain stem. It blows your equilibrium and your balance, and it just kind of messes, it scrambles you, okay? But nonetheless, he had a life and death with Kevin Lerena, who's since lost to Justice Hooney, who lost to Fabio Wardley. So really, he's a domestic level guy. Then he boxed Filip Hrgović, and again, he shipped a lot of punishment against Hrgović. He was eating punches, which as a younger boxer, you can do and get away with it to some degree. But as you age, your punch power will go. So that's not really a smart way to box. And the point is, he was easy to find for Hrgović. Hrgović was finding it easy to hit the target on Dubois. And then Dubois ground him down, and Hrgović seemed to kind of get exhausted. And it's exactly the same thing that happened with Dubois and Miller. That was a life and death. Yes, a good name to have on your resume, but it was a life and death, and it pushed Dubois to the wire. He said in his own words that it took for him to hear his dad outside of the ring to really spur him on to win that fight. Tremendous grit shown in that fight, and credit to Dubois. But the point is, he did not outclass that guy. He didn't use amazing skills. It came down to fitness and who wanted it more. So he did show heart in that fight, and for me, redeemed himself from the Joe Joyce loss. Okay, so far we've got a loss to Joe Joyce. Just Kevin Lerena, he was on the floor 3 times. He shipped a lot of punishment against Hrgović. Miller, a life and death. And then he boxed Anthony Joshua. Yes, a massive name to have on your resume, but Joshua is up and down psychologically and with his performances, and he's moved coaches too many times. My opinion, he should have stayed with Derek James. He was performing very nicely. That's a different topic. But so then he boxes AJ, and that was the worst performance I've ever seen from AJ. If you've ever boxed, you'll know the very basics are that you set stuff up with the jab, and especially a backhand uppercut. You never walk in with a backhand uppercut. That's exactly what AJ did and got knocked out by Dubois. When Usyk wanted to close the show against Dubois, he did so almost immediately after that low blow. So for me, look at that run of form. It is not that amazing.